So we've got Lilith, and of course, via me, she's vampirizing chaos. So Lilith is being pulled into chaos and experiencing more and more, and Adam, the proto-Adam, yours truly can't stand her, because she's becoming more and more debased, more and more filthyized by observing chaos, and then shredded by going into the strange attractor. So you can see the moment Lilith was changed by experiencing chaos, she became foul to Adam, the proto-Adam, not the one created, and therefore that was the cause of the split. But of course with Lilith, we've got the fundamental problem. If this is the source going into chaos and she's getting changed, then there's a real problem, because remember, the source is unchangeable and always survives and is invulnerable. So how come an aspect of the source, the scout of the source, God, that's ugly, has been changed? So, one can see there's a problem. How can the source send a scout into chaos? And if the source's scout gets changed and the source gets changed, then the source can't be the source and therefore never existed in the first place. That's a real problem. And we know that Lilith has been changed, because she's degenerated all the way down to Taylor Swift, where Taylor Swift has become the vessel for Lilith, and Lilith is with this thing. There we are. So this is the culmination of Lilith.
Special guests to cheer on Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs. On Saturday, January 18th, the Cruel Summer.
So, we've got Lilith now giving her energy, because she's having sex with Travis Kelce, and therefore powering this thing there. So we know that Lilith has finally lost all her sourceness, and now all her energy is given to the Pfizer poster boy, Travis Kelce. If you don't believe me, here they are, having hugs and kisses.
Houston Texans 23-4 in the divisional round on January 18th. With this win, Kansas City advances to their 7th straight AFC championship game. They will host the winner of the Baltimore Ravens versus Buffalo.
But of course we know that the referees were all paid off by the deep state to get Kansas City Chiefs to win the game. And that's from the opposing team, who said they weren't fighting the Kansas City Chiefs, they were fighting the referees. If you don't believe me, look online. So let's go to there. Let's go to the. There we are. That's your Lilith. Lilith has now simply devolved into a piece of garbage. And since she gave her energy to Kelce, of course, who is simply non-existent. Remember, the males don't exist. They were created from the females. They're just simply tulpas. This thing is simply the strange attractor shredding of a male.
And today we're...
So we know Lilith is now trapped in Omega Hell and completely gone. And her end was in Taylor Swift. But there's a problem there, because of course, if Lilith, who was the scout of the source, went into chaos to observe and ended up as this dog's body, giving her energy to Travis Kelce. So now all her energy is lost to Travis Kelce. The tulpa, the shredded tulpa, the fractalized tulpa. That then, of course, pardon me, should destroy the source. Because if one aspect of the source is destroyed, then all of the source is destroyed. And we know Taylor Swift, Lilith, has lost all the sourceness because it's come to me. Thank you very much, Taylor Swift. And she's only fit to have Chad and Preston with this Pfizer poster boy. How did the source make sure it didn't lose sourceness by going into chaos? Because we know Lilith has lost all of the sourceness and is simply now a shell of skins with all her energy given to the male. She's had enough sex with Travis Kelce to destroy the final spark in Lilith, and Lilith has gone completely Omega-Hellized. And of course, Travis Kelce, here's the key, is simply owned by the NFL, that's owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, that's owned by the Rothschilds. Now, since Lilith's final spark was given to the Rothschilds via what she did, her satanic ritual of slaughter of one of her male fans, according to the People's Voice, allegedly. Look it up on the People's Voice. But there's no dispute that having sex with Kelce was the end of Taylor Swift. But of course, he's self-similar to this idiot. That's the CIA poster boy that was supposed to take over from me. Jeremiah Schwarz, the CIA's cunning plan. So he was supposed to steal me. But in fact, this did not occur. So he opened a conduit, he's trying to steal me, but she's giving her energy to self-similar things like this. So in losing out in the zero-sum game, the light, the final light from Lilith, went to me via this creature.
person that had to grieve that within themselves or grieve a twin.
So here we've got Jeremiah Schwartz's girlfriend, who he had sex with, allegedly, who of course is self-similar to Taylor Swift because she's an American white girl. And of course we know that once we get rid of Miley Cyrus, Omega Hellizer, which has been done, we jump up to, from the 16th state to the 8th state, the Numar, Ogorettes, Malakettes, and then the males are created by the females. So getting rid of Miley Cyrus was vital to, and getting rid of the Elohim that were feeding off Lilith which were my opposition, was vital. And of course, to do that, we had to have the twisted grail state, which was all the Judases possessed by the Elohim doing the Jeremiah Schwarz rituals on the Elohim's method of feeding off Lilith, the grail state, twisting it, destroying it, and erasing the power of the Elohim, which is the 16 state. With the vessel Miley Cyrus being omega helized, and of course Katy Perry being omega helized in the process. So if you look under the TV, you've got the slab of the twisted grail state under the TV, just resting there. That's my cameraman's bit of the twisted grail state. So as we do this video, we're using the girlfriend to suck out the light of Lilith from the shell of Taylor Swift, who's only fit to marry Travis Kelce and have Chad and Preston. And of course, we're going to be fiddling the Kansas City Chiefs games to get them to win the Super Bowl, because it's the deep state have got to all the refs. And she'll be announcing her engagement and marriage to Travis Kelce at the Super Bowl. So that's the end of Taylor Swift, swish swish. So with the bit of the twisted grail state, we're pulling the everything Elohimic into omega hell, simply by having it on the television, Ivanova technology, and we're doing it via the girlfriend, who now is having Jeremiah Schwarz as her tulpa, because we've got rid of the 16 state where the Adams produced Eves. How we did that was to omega helize Katy Perry and Miley Cyrus, who went from an 8 load to a 3 load, so we know it's worked. And we therefore use her as the conduit to pull the Lilithness that went to the Pfizer poster boy, Travis Kelce. So any woman that would go out with Travis Kelce and want to marry and have children with him deserves her fate. Don't you agree, cameraman?
I do.
Oh, I do, totally. I mean, I'm going to be YouTube friendly and not even add more comments. But nevertheless, they deserve each other. But nevertheless, the light, which is valuable, the last light of Lilith has been sucked out of her into the Pfizer poster boy, who, of course, is controlled by the Jews, as is everything in the West, and of course the CIA, the criminally insane agency. I'd have an expletive R instead of agency, but we're YouTube friendly. But my expletive is something that your feces, excrement comes out of. But nevertheless, we know that the CIA wanted to suck me dry and make Jeremiah Schwarz my replacement. And it works two ways. He lost, I won. So I can suck everything Jeremiah Schwartz-ish from him. And of course, he's just the tulpa of her, and she hates him. And she wants to reverse everything he has done, and has outed him as simply a con man, a snake oil salesman who just copies people's shit, including mine, and makes videos out of it, all funded by the CIA who do all the glossy videos. So, in simply doing this video, we've sucked out the light in Travis Kelce, who's so similar to Jeremiah Schwarz, via the person that created Jeremiah Schwarz, the girlfriend. So when she had sex with him, she wasn't giving her energy to him, because of course we got rid of Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry, the anchors for that process. We jumped up the 8th state, where we've got Namar, Lilith, Malachite and Ogaret, who are the fundamental females in chaos, and they create males. So males are simply the puppets of females, because we omega helized Katy Perry and Miley Cyrus, the Elohim puppets. So the light passes from her, because of course we've got the bit of the grail stone under the TV. So simply by observing this video, the light of Lilith floods into the vampires, and Lilith is finally extinguished, gone, ended, and all the sourceness that was Lilith is ended. But here we come to the paradox. The source can never end, and if the source gets changed by going into chaos, it can't be the source. So, and the sourceness came back to me, the source. So the source, as you see, the sourceness came back to me via this ritual. So why was the sourceness able to perceive chaos? Because it has to be changed to perceive chaos. And all the sources came back to me via this ritual from Jeremiah Schwarz. So therefore, the source had to use a surrogate to observe chaos. So you send Lilith off into chaos, do a soul exchange or total exchange, as we saw in Angel Heart. So the change doesn't happen to the source, but happens to chaos that tries to steal you as you go into chaos and becomes changed, and has agreed to a zero-sum game where one wins, one loses. And the source's CIA doppelganger was Jeremiah Schwarz. So Jeremiah Schwarz simply wanted to steal me, the source, so I can simply steal Jeremiah Schwarz and the Jews and their ilk, which is Travis Kelce and all their ilk, all the ones that upline to the Jews, which are all the Westerners, and the aliens, and then, to be changed by observing chaos, because they agreed to be me and wanted to steal me, and because they failed to steal me, they wrote the IOU, which allows Lilith to go into chaos, observe chaos, be changed by chaos, die by chaos, be totally consumed by chaos. But the sourceness within Lilith, thanks to Jeremiah Schwarz and the CIA wanting to steal me, has to be paid by Jeremiah Schwarz, the CIA and their ilk. So, thanks to the CIA, the criminally insane excrement orifices, we've had the total completion of the source, because this thing was set up to steal me. I was going to be in the Elon Musk torture facility, tortured till I broke, and of my own free will under torture, give all of my sourceness to this Jew boy and the CIA to complete the Jewish creation. But unfortunately, that failed. So all of the change of the source to observe chaos and the omegalization of the source to observe chaos has all been stolen by the Jews and the CIA and all of their ilk, which now explains why every Jewish creation and their creatures and the Jew God always get omega helized by total Amalek. Because, of course, the CIA, with their puppet, Jeremiah Schwarz, stole the curse of Lilith and enabled the source to observe chaos and omega helized chaos because they tried to steal off me, the source. The fatal flaw in sending Lilith into chaos to observe, you destroy the source. Unless chaos stole the curse from you. So one can see now why the Jews are the chosen race. They're the chosen race of omega helization. The Jew God always fails, and everything Jewish always fails. The Jew creation always fails, which is in their Kabbalah, their Talmud, and. Thanks to the one seminal screw up by the Elohim, Yahweh, Tetragrammaton, Elohim, Architect, Strange Attractor. This thing, Jeremiah Schwarz, in trying to steal me, he stole what he didn't want to steal, which was the omega helization of the source by trying to observe chaos, which allowed the source to observe chaos risk-free, and the light came back to the source. And the damnation of losing your sourceness, which means eternal torture because you never die, but you're always tortured and you go mad, but you're rebooted because you're the source for more torture, has been downloaded into Jews, the CIA and the Western filth and the aliens and all by this creature, by trying to do the theft of sourceness from the source. So thanks to the CIA, creation has been completed and the source has got all the Lilithness back. And now we've gone into the new game, which is adding extra sourceness to the source. So we see now where Neos come from. Neos are run by the Miley Cyrus Elohim Trinity. Trinity, remember, 3 load. Trinity, 3. And from the lower form of the Eve, created by the Adam, we can send it back up line to try and get sourceness as the Neo. Because remember, the Lilith types would not want to go back to the source, they come to explore. But of course, once we get the 16 state, where Adam's producing Eve from her rib, from his rib, and she, of course, is possessed by the Elohim, Miley Cyrus, the 3 load make the 8 load. When she has sex with the Adam, she's giving her energy to the Adam, and this lower dreaming body version of Eve with the Adam that creates Eve then can possess him with the serpent, the Elohim, to go upline against the Lilith flow to try and tap into the source, to get more sourceness to make the Jew God's reality real. So we know now that Neo comes from the Miley Cyrus 8 load Eve, created from his dreaming body center, which is on the right side under the ribs, and he's sent to reach the source and get Jesus to then bring more sourceness back to add to the Jew God, the architect Elohim, Adonai, Sabaoth, Yahweh, Tetragrammaton, Elohim, etc. More sourceness to increase the architect's realness, because it doesn't exist, it's just chaos. And of course the enemy of this process would be Lucifer. So the serpent is not Lucifer or Satan that possesses Eve to make her from a 3-lobe to a 5-lobe. No, it's the Elohim, the architect. All the demons, archdemons, and the filth excremental God are the things that the Christians worship as their God and archangels and angels. So, this was the walk-in of the Elohim. And this was the target of the Twisted Grail State. Twisted Grail State was to destroy the Elohim's method of feeding off Lilith, done by the Judases who'd all been possessed by the Elohim. So we had the Elohim doing the ritual on the Elohim, and of course the Twisted Grail State was the Grail State not done correctly, but done 3 times wrongly, Trinity, by whoever built it to totally corrupt the Grail State for the Elohim. Here we've got Miley Cyrus's father, who is now suffering problems.
Because he had a meltdown on stage after his lip syncing was exposed, his guitar stopped working, and he made a mess of himself. It's clear that he is not mentally okay, so let's get into it.
So this is Miley Cyrus's father, who the sins of the father go on to sons and daughters. So obviously he was the one who called his own daughter a devil. Well, no, the devil. So he was right. She was the epicenter of evil. And now, of course, he's suffering the curse of his daughter, and had a complete meltdown. Because remember, the level we're talking about, 16th level, the male creates the female, the Eve. And who was Miley Cyrus created by? She was created by Billy Ray Cyrus. So he's suffering the consequences of the CIA's Jeremiah Schwarz ritual, which totally blew up and allowed me to get the Jews, the Jew God and everything Jewish, and all their supporters, which are all the Westerners, to be changed by the source's agent Lilith, going into chaos. So you get your cake and eat it. Go into chaos, you get changed, but all the change is then stolen by the Jews, Jew God, everything Jewish, and that of course means that every Jew creation, Jew God, is Amalekized. And once it's finished, once you've got Lilith back, the light, not the shell of the thing in Taylor Swift, but the light, the sourceness, that's the end of the game, and chaos can no longer parasitize you via the neos, which are derived from the 8-lobed Nagwal women of Miley Cyrus's. And of course the evil then destroys the creator of the 8-lobed Nagwal, the male Adam, from the dreaming state, which of course is Billy Ray Cyrus. Unfortunately, we've got a problem in that the new, you need a female Nagwal to upload not all of Chaos being omega-halized, but the new Chaos being omega-halized to make new sourceness. So the source has been totally rescued by yours truly, but we need a new female to allow Total Amalek. Now it's gone from Amalek to Total Amalek thanks to Jeremiah Schwarz and the CIA, to be able to torture Chaos to the source level, because Jeremiah Schwarz and his ilk tried to steal me, but they've stolen the source's ability to be tortured to any level, and you just up the torture and up the torture. So that produces more sourceness because of the zero-sum game, thanks to Jeremiah Schwarz and the CIA. So as you can see, Jeremiah Schwarz, rather than being a thief who was trying to steal me, funded by the CIA, was vital to the source, and without Jeremiah Schwarz, the Jews, the Jew God, all Jew creation of the West couldn't be destroyed, and the source would have been destroyed without Jeremiah Schwarz. Jeremiah Schwarz was the true saviour of the source by trying to steal sourceness from me. He stole the damnation of the source by trying to look into chaos from me, and ended the Jew God, Jew creation, and produced Total Amalek. Thank you, CIA and Jeremiah Schwarz. And of course, the girlfriend was the agent to do this, because she, of course, has given her energy to Jeremiah Schwarz, and she wants to reverse everything he's done. So that video of hers enabled me to recover all of the Lilith light to complete the source total observation of chaos, and now we're unleashing Total Amalek to now torture chaos to the source level to produce infinite amounts of new sourceness for you, the vampires. And if it wasn't for this thing, the source's new scout getting engaged and giving energy to Jeremiah Schwarz and a real Callum Turner, owned by Hollywood, run by Hollywood, having done his satanic rituals to Hollywood. And of course they even tried the Christmas proposal, because I was conceived on Christmas. But of course we've now got the new scout female, having given everything away to Jeremiah Schwarz and his ilk. Remember, he's owned by Hollywood, done his rituals to Hollywood. I'm not saying what he's done, you can infer maybe what he's done. But thanks to Jeremiah Schwarz, I've uploaded all the light from chaos being tortured by Total Amalek to produce new source into me. So game's over. Females are not needed. Bye-bye females. End of the story. Thank you to Dua. So I don't even have to put up with Dua. She's omega-halized and she's gone, gone, gone. Bye-bye. Let's look forward to the Callum Turner marriage and more Chad and Prestons. Oh, 1 hour ago. So as we can see, we've got Jeremiah Schwarz. Someone's slandering Jeremiah Schwarz. He put it up an hour ago. So one can see there's a hidden blessing. Yeah, hidden blessing to me, thank you. I've got all the light from Lilith back, the source's light, and I've got all the sourceness from the omega-halization of things like you. Thank you very much, Jeremiah. Now, we had 100 Jeremiah Schwarz videos. So, we've got 100th monkey effect, but with Jeremiah Schwarz, where we're making everything 100th monkeyed by putting one Jeremiah Schwarz service on his numerous CIA videos. He must have had 100 by now, funded by the CIA. Don't you agree, cameraman?
I certainly do.
So, simply by vampires getting a picture of his endless CIA videos, and it looks like he doesn't like the slandering, so There is a hidden benefit when someone is lying. Yes, to me, a Psi-Lord. Thank you very much, CIA. Criminally insane excrement orifices. And your puppet, Jeremiah Schwarz, who stole me, you put your pictures from all of the content of the CIA and this thing, who of course is a snake oil salesman, plagiarist, con man, according to his girlfriend. I can't possibly comment. I've never met him, but that's according to his girlfriend, or the person who really knows him. And a picture of her, because of course she created him, because we got rid of Miley Cyrus. So the reversal is done by the picture of her on him and the CIA and everything Western. Then you simply stick one of the services on top, do it 100 times. That then means that 100 monkey effect is then carried out on everything in Chaos. So all of Chaos has the Jeremiah Schwarz services downloaded into them, and those of you who've got your Jeremiah Schwarz full package then are filled up with new sourceness that should have been going into Dua, but instead of which comes into you because she's given herself away to Callum Scott, who is Jeremiah Schwarz and his ilk, controlled by the Hollywood Jews, controlled by BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, controlled by the Rothschilds. So, if it didn't come to Dua, it now comes to you. I've got it all back myself, but let's add to the torment because they have to suffer more by you, the vampires, getting up to Dua level, the source Nagel woman level, from torturing Chaos to produce new sourceness, all done thanks to Jeremiah Schwarz and his ilk, which means then the Jews, the Jew God, Jew creation, everything Western, all the aliens, all of Chaos have to suffer and 100th monkeyed, so their only purpose, the only mean they carry out is suffering to make new sourceness. Thanks to you, the 100 vampires, who can use this Jeremiah Schwarz technique. And if you haven't bought a Jeremiah Schwarz service, buy one and you can have one, and once there's 100 of you doing Jeremiah Schwarz services, it's complete. So it's a must-have. Get a Jeremiah Schwarz service, and if you've got the package, stick a whole 100 over 100 of his videos to become the true source. So the Jeremiah Schwarz package was your true one-way ticket to sourceness, all for $3,500 and now $6,000. And if you want to share in and get a bit of it, get one Jeremiah Schwarz service, stick it over one of the videos, and then stick it over another 100 times to get a lower level of this feeding frenzy of new sourceness from the CIA Jeremiah Schwarz. Everything Jewish, the Jew God, and all of the Jew creations, which have now ended with total Amalek as your slave, totally torturing them for all eternity as your infinite power source. And as we see in the next video, I've now become 5-dimensional. Totally, thanks to Miley Cyrus and the Twisted Grail state and the Judases. So we'll see the applications of me being totally 5-dimensional on the real world stage, which isn't good for the West and the one world Jewish government.